Okay, what time is it? Alright, I overslept. I'll look at the to-do list later. First, though, I need some coffee. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Do I not have any clean mugs? Great, cool, fine. It's too early for this. Can't get the zombies to do the washing up. That's way too unsanitary. Skeletons don't really have the best grip in the water.
Ah! Ow! What the... Who are you? What are you doing in my home? Ow! Son of a gargoyle, that hurts! Hold on, just stop for a minute. Put the weapon down. Thank you.
Okay, let's just take a second and talk about this calmly.
What do you think you are doing? What gives you the right to break into my home and assault me? Okay, that is a lot of accusations coming from someone who hasn't even met me. Oh, I'm sorry. This is about as calm as I can be when some random would-be adventurer breaks into my house, bludgeons me, and then has the audacity to start mouthing off, claiming me to be a practitioner of dark arts and an abomination of the natural order. First off, rude. Second of all, this is all above board. I've got the paperwork. This was all sanctioned off by the Arcana Iubre. I filled out the forms, I got the permission, and I'll be cursed if I let you come in here, uninvited, and tell me that I'm some villain. Oh ho ho, no! This discussion is not over, but if I am going to deal with this, then I need some coffee. Would you like a cup? Alright. I don't have any milk, but I have some sugar if you want. So, starting from the beginning, who are you and why are you here? There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. You came to this crypt to slay the evil necromancer living inside and raising the dead. Well, I'm sorry, but I am not amassing an army of the undead to lay waste to the surrounding lands. I am a practitioner of necromancy working on my research for my thesis. This has all been arranged with local officials, and what I am doing here is 100% legal. I am not an outlaw, so I have protections afforded to me as any citizen would, and you would face the judgment of the law for any transgression upon returning to civilization. Yeah, aren't you glad I stopped you from ruining your own life? You answered my question, so it only seems fair that I answer one of yours. Fair enough. I chose this tomb for a number of reasons. It's far enough away from any populated area that any errant magics can be contained. It's also close enough so that I can make regular supply trips so that I don't starve. It's an ancient tomb, meaning that no grieving relatives will drop by and disturb me, but not so old that the specimens are rendered useless. Additionally, it contains many deceased elves, who are naturally more conductive to magic than most other mortal races.
my turn. You obviously didn't have much care for your surroundings when breaking and entering, so I hate to ask, what did you break on the way in? Yeah. So none of that was mine. I just live mostly in a couple of the antechambers. All of those oddities were part of the original tomb and probably quite valuable to any archaeologist. I'm sorry, which specimen did you destroy? Oh no, not Elendor! Do you understand how long that ritual took to animate him with that level of intelligence? No, of course you don't. You're an idiot. Yes, he had a name. I knew because I asked him. I don't choose names for the specimens like I'm naming cattle. They were all people. They deserve to be treated with that level of respect, even when their souls are removed from their corporeal tether. Of course I can speak to the dead. It's a prerequisite to studying any form of advanced necromancy. How else do you ask for consent before conducting experiments? Consent? You ask the corpse if they consent to being the recipient of necrotic magics. It is illegal to practice necromancy without consent. I swear everyone is really quick to make judgments without any idea of what we actually do. For the most part, they just don't care. Some object, and that's fine. People die every day. Most don't particularly care what happens to their body unless you explicitly desecrate it, which is a whole other thing that is also wildly illegal, and I don't have the time to get into the magical specifics with someone who won't understand them. I'm not lying. Here. Hey, do you care if I use your body to practice necromancy? No! See? He's fine with it. Aren't you? Yes. Have you got any burning questions for the guy? I've got 3 more questions. No. Oh, son of a... 2 questions. What's your name? Neramin. Okay, what's it like being dead? Could be worse. I worked as a tanner when I was alive. Ugh. Sorry about that. And he's gone. See, unless you have some kind of innate hatred against necromancy, everything I am doing here is perfectly reasonable. No, necromancy doesn't have a corrupting influence. That's just superstition for people who don't know any better, or anyone with a vested interest in making you pay for burial rites. Again, that's another issue I don't have the patience for today. Wow! That was just uncalled for. I look this sickly and pale because
I spend most of my time surrounded by dead bodies underground. Also, I've always looked like this. You are so ridiculously rude.
No, it's fine. But can we please not make any more jabs against me? Yes, I'm bleeding. You hit me in the head. How in our realms did it take you this long to notice? I don't just wear a streak of blood across my face like a fashion statement. We are both very lucky that I always imbue myself with false life at the start of every day. Otherwise, we would not be having this conversation right now. You've apologized enough. Just shut up! Right, back on track now. Who sent you? When I said shut up, I meant for apologies, not in general. Wait, the mayor of Dawnpond? That doesn't make any sense. I've met him. He signed the paperwork and gave me permission to occupy the tomb. Why would he send you to deal with me? Oh, do you know what it is? Property value. You need to inform potential buyers if a necromancer is practicing in the area. Regardless of legality and ethics, people don't want to live near a necromancer, so land prices suffer. He probably wants to sell off a bunch of the farmland to some noble house or something. I knew the guy was slimy, but this is low. He probably let me work here because of the tax exemption. Hosting a student of necromancy is not a particularly popular thing to do, so local leaders get a subsidy from the Arcana Iubre as compensation. It's terrible you got sucked into his little scheme. Though, to be fair, you seemed pretty eager to take down a necromancer with very little information. I'm alive. It's fine. And if I hear you apologize one more time, I am going to lose it. We all need money. You more than most, considering the quality of your equipment. Yep. No amount of magic will bring any of that stuff back from the dead. So he's drummed up some anti-necromancy sentiment from the townsfolk. Perfect. You know, with the lack of social interaction, general disdain from the common folk, and particularly grim working conditions, it's not a surprise that some necromancers snap and head down that whole dark magic route. I'm not saying I'm there, just that I can empathize now. I don't mind the solitude. It's nice and quiet here. Also, generally, people are awful. But I can't really head back into town if people don't want me there. Besides, someone might have destroyed my most advanced experiment and put me a month behind schedule. I'm going to have to work overtime to meet the deadline, so I don't have time for a supply run. If you need money, would you mind heading back to town and picking up some supplies for me? I get some research funds that I can use for whatever, so if I give you the gold, you can get what I need and keep the change. Well, you don't seem the type to run off with the money. You're an idiot, but a well-meaning idiot. considering the things you said to me a few minutes ago, I am being thoroughly generous, I'll have you know. It's probably not a good idea to mention me in town. Best to just try and go unnoticed. I don't want to have to deal with torches and pitchforks. I already have to deal with inspectors. They pop round every couple of months to make sure that I'm following all of the previously set out regulations and that my practice is up to standard. Anyway, here's the list and the gold. Try to be back before tomorrow. I left the supply run late and we just drank the last of my coffee. If I don't get my coffee, I will raise an army of darkness to bring doom unto the world. For legal reasons, I have to say that was a joke. Right, you should get going if you want to make it back before tomorrow. And please don't break anything on your way out. Yeah, see you soon. Ugh, adventurers.